Okay, this short video is going to show you how to use metallic maps in Unity. What I've done is I've got a Unity scene here. I've got just a cube in the middle. I've made a diffuse map, and I've made two different metallic maps to show you the difference between the blacks and the whites. So first of all, I'm just going to nip into Photoshop. So I'm going to minimize the Unity, open up Photoshop. So this is the diffuse map. Now, diffuse maps in Unity using the new PBR texturing work as such. So your initial layer that you're used to using here is the color. So whatever the color that map's going to have on it, I can delete that. It's not necessary. So our cube that I've created is going to be yellow. Is going to be red. In the channels for your diffuse map, the alpha always works as in what's visible and what's not visible. That's a standard alpha map. So anything that's white. So in this case, I've told the whole cube to be white, therefore the whole cube will always be visible. If there is any stripes or lines or anything in this alpha channel that was black, those bits that are black would be invisible on the cube. Okay, so this is just telling the cube that it's a solid cube and its color is red. That's the diffuse done. Don't get that confused, that alpha confused with the metallic alpha. So your metallic map is a completely separate map. So if we look at Unity for a second, you can see that this cube here has got an albedo map, which is the other word for diffuse, which we're going to use just the red. So I can drag that straight into the albedo. It turns it red. There's no see-throughness going on in the cube unless I add see-throughness using the channels in the alpha channel for the diffuse map, the albedo map. The metallic map, as you can see here, has its own separate slot. So it's its own texture, separate to the diffuse one or the albedo one. So going back into Photoshop, I've got two different versions here. So the first one, anything that is white in the layers section means that it's metal. Anything that is black in the layers section means that it's plastic. Okay. So there's your difference between the two. So this one we're expecting metal, and this one we're expecting plastic. The alpha channels for a metallic map show whether something is reflective or not. So at the moment we've got a metallic texture, and then if we go into the channels and look at the alpha map, what I've told this alpha map is that anywhere that's white is highly reflective, like chrome. Anywhere that's black is not reflective. So you'll have a non-reflective metal on the black sections and a highly reflective metal on the white sections. And exactly the same thing works for the plastic. So if we look at the plastic map and look at the alpha, I'm telling it that anywhere that's black is going to be sort of matte plastic, and anywhere that is white is going to be highly reflective plastic. Okay. So using those two maps in Unity, using the cube, I've got my metallic slot. Here I've got fully metallic, and you can see that it's reflecting. Anywhere that I had that's white is highly reflective, and anywhere that is black is more dull, but it's still metallic. It looks like metal. The opposite works if we use the plastic one. So if I drop the plastic in, you lose a bit of that sort of metallic shine, and we've got highly reflective plastic and then matte plastic. So you can keep switching between the two and seeing that there's obviously a difference between what's plastic and what's metal when using these in Unity. Now, the only other thing that I've got in this scene that isn't really relating to the textures is this. I've got a reflection probe in here, which is allowing us to see the reflections of anything else that's in the scene. So how do you make a reflection probe? Very quickly, I'll show you. Start with an empty game object. Create game object, empty game object. Give it a name that you're going to remember. Probe. And then with it selected, you go to your component and then come down to rendering and then across to reflection probe. With that turned on and then the type over here set to real time, you'll get real-time reflections directly on the object that it's closest to, that has any kind of metallic properties on it.